Hey guys, it's Rich from Predator Ball Pythons, and on today's video we're going to talk about how to handle your ball pythons safely and in the right way to build a good relationship with your animal. This is focused out there for the new keepers or somebody who's just thinking about getting into ball pythons, or maybe you've got an upcoming event where you might handle some snakes and you want to get a bit more info to prepare yourself if you've never handled a snake before. And I'll tell you a really funny thing. For years, I just kept the normal type of animals, right? I didn't get into snakes till I think I was in my 30s when I got my first snake, and it was a ball python. And I remember I really geared myself up for getting this animal, and I remember going to the store and buying all the wrong stuff, as you do, because they gave me all the wrong advice. But hey, we sorted that out in the end. And I remember getting home with the ball python in one of those plastic containers and going, oh, how do I get this animal out of here and into its enclosure? Because I'd never handled a snake before up to that point. And I've got to admit to you guys, I ended up sort of tipping the tub like this and sort of sliding the ball python out into the enclosure. And then it took me a while to get hands on. You know, I can laugh at it now because handling it is just so natural to me. But anyway, look, we've all been there. So hopefully that little story just makes you see, if you've just got a snake and you're a bit nervous or you're unsure how to handle it, that everybody's got to learn. And if you haven't had the experience, you know, you're bound to feel a little bit nervous about doing it or unsure. So let's get started, guys. We're going to grade through snakes because it's slightly different depending on the size of the animal. So let's start right at the beginning. We'll go get a baby and we'll talk about the keys to handling the baby first. Now, a lot of this is really going to depend on the personality of the ball python. Now, you know, we talk about ball pythons being timid and that people joke about them being a pet rock. Well, I've got news for you guys. Not all of them are like that. They all have different personalities. And you're going to take a look right now at my Bumblebee Clown Baby that I produced last year. This girl is absolutely beautiful. And she is very confident and very active. Now, the key is when you go into the enclosure, observe first. Just don't go gung-ho and just grab the snake. Look at where the snake is. Are they awake? You know, are they all balled up? Are they in shed and maybe I shouldn't actually handle them right now? You know, think about these things before you go in. And then once you establish that the snake's alert, it's okay to go and pick the animal up. Then go in carefully and just pick the animal up. Aim towards the middle of the body. Never pick up a snake via its neck or via its tail, okay? That's not very nice. We want to get it in the middle, just here. Once you've got the animal into your hands though, they're going to probably do one of two things. And you're seeing the second thing here, which is be quite active. And as you can see, she's being quite active and she's just going around my hands and my arm there, and she's exploring. She's inquisitive. She's trying to figure out, you know, where am I? Tongue's flicking. She's tasting the air. She's working it all out. She knows me quite well. I'm quite lucky that I hatched this girl out myself. So as soon as she came out the egg, you know, she is used to me. But you can see we're being gentle and we're being slow. Now, I wanted to use a small snake as an example of how you would just use one hand, but it's kind of backfired on me here because this girl is so active that I'm getting both hands involved. And it's much like, you know, when you're like pulling a rope towards you or something, you're feeding the snake through your hands, one hand at a time. But we're supporting them. We're supporting their upper body and their lower body. We do not want the snake to feel insecure and to fall. All right. But if you don't get this, typically what you're going to see, and I'll try and pick out a male who's really, really shy and timid when you get him out. It's funny because he's in his enclosure. He'll rear up at you and be territorial, but as soon as you get him out, he balls up. But yeah, they'll just literally stay in your hand when they're like that, when they ball up, and you can literally just hold them, be still, just let them build the confidence to actually start exploring you, much like this girl is right from the get-go. But you can see that, guys, just nice and gentle. We're just keeping a real eye on where the snake is. We're making sure we always give the snake something to purchase on its upper body, its lower body, so it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall or feel insecure. And for you, if you're nervous, just go slow. Slow movements, no fast, rapid movements, okay? It's absolute key to building the relationship with your snake. But for you, if you're nervous too, it's key for you to get more confident. All right, we're going to put this girl back, and now we're going to get a grown on. So we're going to go up a little bit, and I've got the perfect boy to show you for that. Okay, so this is one of my grown-ons, and this is a leopard, a bamboo orange dream. He's 100% het clown, and this boy is absolutely beautiful. Look at his patterns and his colors. And you can see now I definitely need two hands, right? I can't hold this snake in one hand. I mean, if he was all balled up, maybe, but I need the two hands, and I need to make slow movements and be calm and just let him sense what's going on. You know, it's during the day and these animals are nocturnal, so you need to understand that when you're handling during the day, more than likely they're going to be asleep. I mean, as you can see, the bumblebee clown certainly wasn't. She was really, really active, but that's just her nature. This boy, he's being a little bit more lethargic now, and you can see he's being quite still. We've got him in the one hand there, and we're just giving him time to work out what's around. You know, he's feeling the warmth from my hands. And snakes will, when they're out in the open, they will look for where heat is because they'll be quite conscious that they need to stay warm. So sometimes you can find they just like chilling on you because of your body heat. Quite often my son, when I'm doing some cleaning, I always hand him the snakes, and he'll just sit them here like on his tummy while he's playing his PlayStation or whatever, and they'll just stay perfectly still. Sometimes they might explore around him, but you can tell that they're just absorbing the heat from him and they feel quite calm. But yeah, this is what we want, guys. And as you can see, the bigger the snake, the more we need to get both arms involved. And you need to just let the snake do what it wants to do. If they want to stay there in your hand, just like this, then you let him. You let him look around. Look, he's tasting the air now. He's starting to do his tongue flicks. And he's doing a bit of exploring. But yeah, understand time of day is a factor. If you handle them in the evening, you're going to get a more lively response. And also be careful handling in the evening because that's when they would be hunting. So they're more likely to be looking for food. So be very cautious when you go into enclosures and ensure that you are picking the animal up in the right way and that you're not getting a potential food response bite. Always go from behind, okay? That's the key. No waving your hands in front of your snakes. And I don't do that anyway, even though this boy right here, I mean, look, can you see? Look, he's picked up on that. So that's why we don't want to do that just in case he was to react. We don't want any of those movements. So we keep all those sort of movements behind the snake where he can't see. But there we go. Right, let's get something bigger, shall we? And see how much more of a challenge it can be. I'm going to get the shy boy first. And here he is. This is the Firefly Desert Ghost. And this guy here is really, really shy when he's out. Like, I can't get photos of him. If I get him out, I struggle to get a photo of him where you can actually see all of him, like can see his head, because he will literally ball up. And you can see he's gone quite rigid. He's tensed up and he's sort of hiding his head, although you can see it in there. You see how amazing he is. Desert Ghost is an incredible gene. Add fire and pastel in there. Wow. But yeah, it's a very easy handling experience with this boy, and really what we want, because he's still quite nervous around humans, is to just be still and just let him figure everything out. The more I move, the less likely he is to start exploring or start feeling a bit more comfortable. The more likely he's just going to ball up. I'm using two hands. Again, the heat in my hands is getting onto him. That helps him feel relaxed. That helps him generate his energy and everything else that heat does for these animals. And we just stay still, yeah? And this is building a relationship. So sometimes the handling experience might be a little bit boring, where not much is happening. But it's never boring if you can just take in the animal and marvel at how beautiful they are. But yeah, we won't do this one to death, guys, because not much is going to happen from here. Let's see if we can get a nice big female now. Okay, so I've got one of my bigger females out and you can see the size difference now. So if you're someone who's thinking about getting a ball python, you're watching this video, understand females will get much larger than males. So just bear that in mind as to what size you might be comfortable with. And usually what this girl will do, you can see at the moment, she's obviously been sleeping. She was all curled up near the warm end of her enclosure. So I'm just giving her a moment to kind of wake up a little bit. But she usually will start to maneuver around my hands, and you can see she's a big girl, like you can feel the weight of her, but she's just sniffing now. Usually she'll get curious. Let's see if she does, but I need two hands. Again, I'm making sure she feels supported. I'm nice and relaxed, she's nice and relaxed, and you want a positive handling experience. So we're being nice and safe here because you do not want to drop your ball python. Absolutely not, because the snake, you know, that would be a bad experience. Not only could they get injured, but they'll remember, you know, and you want them to feel secure around you and know that they are safe, because they will remember that. Now you can see she's stretching out a bit now, guys, and look at the length of her. All right, now ball pythons in general aren't big snakes. You can see I'm checking out her body now. I always look at her when I get her out because we are breeding her at the moment, so we're hoping to get some eggs from her, and I'm waiting to spot building ovulation. But there you go, she's sniffing now, tasting the air with her tongue, and she's stretched out across both my arms, which is great, right? Now you will see people on videos putting them around their neck, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, guys. But again, we need the snake to always feel secure. All right, and you need to feel comfortable with the animal, because it will go in your face and it will go around your neck. Okay, so we just keep our hands there as well. We don't just put a snake around our neck and let go. It's kind of like they're climbing a big tree, you know. For them, that's kind of the experience. We know, if you've seen Dave Kaufman's ball pythons documentary, watch it, because it gives you a real understanding for these animals. But in the rainy season in Africa, they have to come out of the rodent burrows where they live in dark, tight spaces underneath there. But when it rains, it floods the rodent burrows. They have to come out, and then they want to get away from the rain, so they actually do climb. But they're climbing because they're trying to not be submerged in water, and they're trying to get as high as they can until obviously that finishes, and then they can come back down. But they have the ability to climb, all right? And of course, they're just solid muscle. All snakes are, yeah? So we're going to take her off now. So we be gentle, right? We've got one hand on one side, one hand on the other. Pull her back round. All right, I don't in general put them around my neck unless I really need to do something and I don't have anyone available to help me, and I might put it around my neck so I can use my other hand, but there she is. All right, so the experience is a bit different the larger the snake. But the keys here are that we move slow, we're relaxed, we let the snake explore, we use both hands, and we feed the snake food for a positive experience. There we go, guys. That's all there is to it. So if you're new to ball pythons and you're just thinking, you know, how am I going to handle the snake? This is it, guys. Dive straight in and just use the things that I've talked about in staying calm and feeding through your hands and letting the snake kind of just do its own thing. All right. We don't want to manipulate the snake. We want it to explore, because that's the key to building a good relationship with you and with your animal. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Enjoy your handling.